All right. Good morning. Good morning, Facebook. This is Dave Clayton's powerful plank pointers this morning. And it's Tuesday. And I just got done with a little jog here in the bridges. I'm on a bridge right now. And I'm doing my planks. And I had just an incredible memory this morning I wanted to share with you guys. So I hope this adds value to you. And so I'm going to go ahead and get started. So I had something happen in my life 17 years ago. So I had a buddy that liked to go shark fishing. And he'd go out to the 3 Mile Reef in Murrells Inlet. There's a buoy out there. It's 3 miles out. And he'd go out there at night and he'd shark fish. And he was always talking about it. And one day, he said, Dave, why don't you go with me? And he'd been out a bunch with his friends. And he would go out there when the weather was great. He'd do it in the summer. So this was late July, early August. Mama was pregnant with Noah. So this was that summer before Noah was born. He's, so this was like 17 years ago about. And I decided I'd go shark fishing with my buddy. Now, the boat that he had was like a 20-foot bass tracker. And he said he'd done it a million times. And I haven't shared this story with a lot of people, but it's a real turning point in my life. Okay, here comes a car. So I'm turned it on sideways. There's the car. I'm going to wave. All right. Don't want to get run over out here. So anyway, we were out shark fishing 3 miles at the 3 Mile buoy. And it was about midnight. We were chumming for these sharks. So chum is this dead fish and stuff that's on the side of the boat. And we were catching shark, okay? We were catching them. Good morning, Jim. How's it going? Hey, John. Yes, I'm in the street. I'm on a bridge, actually, so it's actually not so dangerous. But this bridge is seldom gone over there, John. So I think I'm okay. I'm in the bridges. So anyway, we were catching shark. I caught a hammerhead shark that was like 3 feet long. We put it back. It was about midnight, 1 o'clock. And my friend said, let's go on back. So, because the wind was starting to pick up a little bit. Hey, Mike, how's it going? So, he goes back to the sit where the bass tracker where you sit and presses the start button, and that thing won't start. So, we'd already lifted the anchor, and the back of the boat started turning towards England. So waves, the wind was coming out of the northeast and waves were starting to build, and the fella I was with he was over 300 pounds. Pretty big fella. Yes, I'm right near Brian's house, John. I'm about a block from his house. So anyway, the back of this boat started to get waves. Boom, boom. I'm in the front of the boat. Now, I don't have a life preserver on. We have life preservers in the middle in this little thing that comes up like this. And my buddy's in the back. Now he's taking the top off the motor and he's trying to figure out what's going on. And he's standing in the back of this boat. And all of a sudden, a big wave comes over the back of the boat. And I'm not kidding you, within 5 seconds, this boat goes from this to this. Gone. And my buddy and I are bobbers 3 miles out. I'm looking for the buoy, thinking I'm going to be able to swim over and get that buoy. Well, it's a full moon. and the tide is flying. Within a minute, we're like 300 yards from the buoy. I can't find the boat. He can't find the boat. And I was in pretty good shape. I used to be a bodybuilder, so I was like muscular and not as chubby as I am now. So I did not float well. Within easy 10 minutes, I was gassed. I was sure I was going to be gone. And to top it all off, the chum that we'd been chumming for these sharks was coming up around us, like floating up, dead fish around us. And I'm losing my mind. So my friend that I'm with is chubby. Really, I don't mean chubby. He's obese. He's over 300 pounds, and he's floating on his back and calm. He's saying, we're going to be fine. There's going to be another boat that comes out in no time. People fish out here all the time. It's going to be okay. We got a full moon. We can see. I'm telling you, there's no boat, nothing to hold on to, no boat inside, anywhere. I can barely see shore, like 3 miles away from the shore. The wind is picking up. I'm already feeling like seasick, like I'm swallowing salt water, can't breathe, seasick. And I'm exhausted, gassed. The worst, my heart rate had to be well over 200. So he says, don't worry, just hold on to me. And he is literally a buoy. This 350-pound guy, floated on his back. I grabbed hold of him, and we floated all night long. Now, my wife got nervous. When we weren't home by 1 o'clock, she called the Coast Guard, or called emergency. They called the Coast Guard. And the Coast Guard, all night, not all night, but from about 3 o'clock to about 5 o'clock, we could actually hear the boat going like this, because they do the zigzag method to try to find people that are lost at sea. So I look up at about 5 o'clock in the morning, and that boat that sunk, that was gone for a whole night, is about 50 yards away from us, and I'm sure we can swim to it. So I decided to start going over there because I knew it was going to be safe. Now, I didn't see a single thing other than our chum. For the first 30 minutes or so, there was chum all around us. But I didn't see a single shark. I didn't see anything at all night long. It was unbelievable. I looked up at the moon at about 4 something in the morning, and I had a peace. I was holding on to my friend who was perfectly calm. And I just felt peace looking up. It was a full moon. I remember thinking about my son and my daughter and thinking, gosh, this is the most scary thing I've ever gone through. I can't believe we're actually going to make it. We're going to make it. The first 5 minutes of this happening, I was sure this was it. I wasn't going to make it. I was sure. But after about being out there for about 4 hours, and we were still floating, and we hadn't seen a shark, I was at peace. And I had thrown up, because when you swallow water, salt water, and you're floating around, and you're like going through, I was panicking. Also, it was freezing. It was like 90-something degrees outside, and I was chilled, so cold, because the water temperature, it was something else. But anyway, where I'm getting to here is I looked up at that moon, and I got to tell you, I had many conversations with God in the middle of the night, saying, if you could just help me get through this, Lord. I won't be afraid to do anything for the rest of my life, because if I can get through this, I know, and you can help me through this, then I know you'll help me through those things that I've been scared about. And I before that, I was kind of a little bit anxious about anything. But after this experience, what do I have to lose? So to make a long story short, the Coast Guard found us at 5:30 in the morning. We couldn't get over to the boat. It was 50 yards away. I tried. He tried. And yes, don't take a bass tracker shark fishing in the ocean. That's true. Very good point, Mike. But I was saved. We were rescued. My friend that I was able to hold on to that saved my life with his calm demeanor and his buoyancy, he was there for a reason. He really stayed calm, cool, and collected. Hey, Dave, and so that's my point here is what experience are you going to have to go through? What life experience are you going to have to go through to stop being afraid to go for it? And I'm not talking about risk. Like, I guess I am some. I'm not talking about jumping off cliffs and doing crazy antics. I'm talking about being the best version of yourself. Actually stepping out. And I'm a work in progress, so I'm not the example. I'm an absolute work in progress. But I'm not a fearful guy when it comes to stepping out and doing something different, doing something that you feel called to do. So that's my challenge for you today. So the moral of the story is we were rescued by the Coast Guard, and it was the best experience, the worst and the best experience of my life, because God chose to save me. And I'm so grateful for my buddy. So don't be afraid. Don't wait for that life-threatening experience to take a chance on you, to go for it and be the best version of you can. I hope this inspires someone. If it does, share this with somebody you care about. And thank you so much. God bless you guys. Be buoyant. Don't be afraid. Talk to you later.